For thousands of years, the Nile River has been revered as a wild, untamed force of nature. It holds the fiercely contested title of the longest river on Earth, a legendary waterway that single-handedly birthed ancient civilizations. Modern engineering has replaced that wild system with a network of massive plumbing, tightly controlling every drop through a series of artificial gates and barriers. The most immediate consequence of this engineering is happening right here at the river's end. The Nile Delta is a broad, fertile triangle emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. Right now, this vast agricultural grid is actively compacting and sinking at 1 centimeter every year. Consequently, infiltrating saltwater is poisoning the soil that produces Egypt's primary food supply. Humanity's drive to completely master the river's flow is exactly what is destroying its most fertile and historically significant region. In the 1960s, Egypt deployed its ultimate tool of river control, the Aswan High Dam. The Aswan High Dam is a massive rock-filled structure built across the Nile in Aswan to regulate floods and store water for agriculture. This animated diagram shows a scale comparison of global reservoir volumes. You can see the Nile's storage capacity behind Aswan sits at a staggering 157 cubic kilometers. That is nearly 6 trillion cubic feet of water, dwarfing the capacity of other massive structures like the Hoover Dam and the Three Gorges Dam. The mechanical purpose was clear: halt unpredictable floods and create a massive decadal climate buffer. But this megastructure has a fatal geographic flaw. The dam acts as an absolute physical barrier, permanently trapping the nutrient-rich silt that historically flowed downstream. Without that annual delivery of new sediment, the delta is starved. It simply cannot rebuild itself fast enough to outpace its natural compaction and the rapidly rising sea levels. Egypt traded the river's natural geographical renewal cycle for temporary electrical and agricultural security, inadvertently triggering a slow-motion ecological collapse. Thousands of miles upstream in the Ethiopian highlands, the source of the vast majority of the river's water and sediment is facing its own transformation. This is the 21st century titan challenging Egypt, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Built to be Africa's largest hydropower project, its deep spillways and generation infrastructure are a critical engine designed to lift millions out of poverty. For Egypt, however, this represents an existential threat. Because nearly all of their fresh water originates upstream, the GERD gives Ethiopia the mechanical capability to completely control Egypt's primary lifeline. The river has transformed into a weaponized asset, caught in a high-stakes geopolitical tug-of-war between nations that cannot survive without its flow. Away from the concrete megadams, there is severe collateral damage downstream. This includes the vast flooded grasslands in South Sudan. The Sud is a massive swamp formed by the White Nile, known as one of the world's largest wetlands and a critical wildlife habitat. This highly sensitive, biodiverse ecosystem relies entirely on the river's natural, unregulated seasonal pulses to survive. This animated bar chart compares the measured lengths of the Nile and the Amazon rivers. While scientists debate which is technically longer, watching the Nile's data bar fracture reveals a stark reality. Arguing over length completely misses the point of the current crisis. A river chopped into heavily managed, isolated reservoirs ceases to function as a continuous, living system. Faster, more urgent tone. As international treaties fail, regional anxiety over water security is reaching a critical boiling point. Engineering megastructures do not solve water crises. They only delay and complicate them, leaving the future of millions dependent entirely on diplomacy before the river runs dry.